The Suns just made a big move in free agency. The Suns just picked up Tyus Jones on a 1-year, $3.3 million contract. This is such an awesome pickup for the Phoenix Suns because they really needed a point guard. Like, the biggest criticism that me and other people have had about the Suns since they let Chris Paul go was the fact that they didn't have a true point guard on the roster. Because yes, guys can play multiple positions. We saw Devin Booker play point guard at times. But like, that's not, or rather, that wouldn't be what I want to be his primary role. Devin Booker is a scorer. So if I'm running the team, that's exactly what I want him to focus on, being the 2 guard. So what better than to bring in Tyus Jones, who besides Chris Paul, who obviously is near the end of his career, and Halliburton, who is also past first point guard, Tyus Jones is honestly like 3rd in the NBA, basically, on being like a past first point guard. I'm not saying statistics wise, I'm not saying he like is 3rd in the league in assists, but what I'm saying is if you watch Tyus Jones play when he was on Memphis, for example, because obviously with the Wizards they didn't get much coverage, you know that Tyus Jones was a pretty pure point guard. And what pure means is basically he's pass first, like a Chris Paul, like a Tyrese Halliburton. And so they literally got the best possible point guard available that they could get. Like I said, beyond Chris Paul and Tyrese Halliburton, there may be a few other players in there, too. But I'm just saying, like, Tyus Jones is up there with some of the best past first point guards. And that's literally what the Suns needed. They don't need someone who needs to take more shots. They don't need someone who wants to score. Because they have 3 guys on the team who are big-time scorers in Kevin Durant, in Devin Booker, and in Bradley Beal. And like I said, one of the things they were missing is someone to run the offense. And not only is Tyus Jones a pass-first point guard, which is super beneficial to them, but he is one of the most efficient players with the ball. So what that means is Tyus Jones does not turn the ball over. Every time I talk about Tyus Jones on this channel, I talk about how he doesn't make mistakes. Like, again, he's not going to make the most flashy passes. You may not see, like a Magic Johnson highlight pass. Like, I'm sure he has that in his bag, but like, he makes safer passes for the most part. And while you may not get the big shiny highlight out of him, you will get a shot up. And in the NBA, that is so important. It is so important to not turn the ball over because every team at some point struggles with turnovers. So when you have someone like Tyus Jones, and there were statistics on this too, I don't remember what the numbers were, but he was up there with like assist to turnover ratio, like just never turning the ball over. And so this is literally the perfect person to add to the Phoenix Suns. This addresses so many issues they had, like I said, from a point guard perspective. Now they have other issues that they still need to work on, but this was a major issue that they got solved. And again, they got one of the best available out there. Tyus Jones is going to make it so much easier on Kevin Durant, on Devin Booker, on Bradley Beal to score because they will be running, they'll be running the offense through like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. What I'm saying is like he will be, bringing the ball up the floor at times. I'm sure Kevin Durant and Devin Booker still will do that as well, and Bradley Beal at times. But like now they have another ball handler, someone who like this is what they do best. When he was on the Grizzlies, even when Ja Morant was out, like I don't just mean like out of the game for like rest time, I mean out. He was doing great things, and that team was flowing and rolling, and obviously it had a lot to do with the fact that they still had a lot of talent, like Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. Although I think there was a point where Desmond Bane was out too, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I know he had some injuries last year. I don't remember if he was like, he had an injury at the same time Ja did at one point. But regardless, like, Tyus Jones, when he was inserted to start, or when he was coming off the bench for Ja, like, they would not only hold leads, they would extend them sometimes. If you're a Phoenix Suns fan, you should be ecstatic that you got Tyus Jones. And if you don't know who he is, and you don't know much about his game, go watch some highlights, because again, they're not going to be super flashy for the most part, but you're going to watch them and be like, yes, he gets the players the ball at the right time, at the right place. He's not going to turn it over, and we're going to get a shot up. And in the NBA, that is so important. You got to put points on the board. In an NBA where like teams are scoring 120 a night now, and they're shooting 40% from three, like as a team, some teams, or individual players, 40+% from three, 50% from the field, you need to get points on the board. You cannot afford to turn the ball over at all, because you might not get an opportunity to get it back before it's another 10-point lead by the other team. So Tyus Jones is going to be great on this team. As long as he is able to do what he does best, he's given the ball and able to create the way he would create for Memphis. As long as he's able to do those things, he will be definitely really good for the Suns. Sometimes the fit is not the best, but I feel like this is literally what the Suns needed. So I can't see how he's a bad fit. But again, it always depends on if he and players in general are put in the right position and they're able to maximize, what they do best. And I would assume the Phoenix Suns are going to do that because they obviously want to win. So they're going to, figure out his strengths and put him in that position so that he can exercise them on the court. But if they don't, then it might not be the best. But Tyus Jones, he'll figure it out.